mean, the information, I've been following Michelle for a couple of years, but to have her here right in front of you, and the thing she does that I enjoy so much is she breaks down the information. Breaks down.
Like the group pyramid thing, like the friend pyramid thing, that's pretty interesting. It's like, there's a new perspective on that kind of stuff, because it's like, you really don't really get an idea of what some friendships are, because like, at first, like she said, it's like, it's just who you're hanging out with, then it's just who's helping you out, who's bailing you out. It gives you a new idea of who your friends are. Some of us are blessed to have 4 or 5, like, and some of us have 1 or 2.
You know, I consider myself reasonably intelligent, but this disorder baffles me. I mean, I get stumped all the time. So to have her break it down into such simple terms and look at it from the perspective of the kid, you know, how they're looking at it, how they need to look at it.
You know, it's beyond just learning how to make a friend. It's kind of how do you keep a friend. And I feel that the approach, you know, that social thinking takes to, you know, maintaining and building relationships is very effective. And I've found, you know, a lot of kids, and actually I think through high school that I've worked with, to be very successful with this kind of approach.
It really gets at the core of what we are working with these students. It's not that they can't say hi, it's not that they can't shake hands, but it's how they are thinking and interpreting the world around them. And it's a language, and they haven't learned the language. And if we can teach the language better, then we will be happier, they will be happier, we can be communicating, and so everybody benefits.
Well, it's really almost like being able to have someone translate what the real issue is. Everyone thinks they're sort of talking about what the problem is, you've got these deficits and all of these things, but to really break it down and analyze what's really going on, and to see this light sort of come on for everybody, for the people that are professionals or parents, and then for the adults that are struggling with that, is something that I haven't read or seen before. So I've looked at cognitive behavior therapists and all of those things, but this breaks it down and lets you interpret what's really going on, what's really the deficit, and then you can teach to that, or you can work on that yourself, you know. So that's what's most important to me about it.
I think the big value is that being able to watch children go from being on the outside to at least having skills to think that they can move closer to other people, skills to understand what other people are thinking. One of the best things about it is just the vocabulary. There's a common vocabulary for dealing with social behavior issues, social thinking issues. And you know, when your 7-year-old comes home and says, "Oh Mom, I had a do-over today at school," then you know you've been successful, because that means he took another opportunity to redo something.
It's not highly clinical, it's not highly abstract. It's down-to-earth, usable techniques that we can really take and apply. And I'm really excited about that, because I don't think too many people are doing that out there. The fact that they are still practitioners and they can share what they're using constantly, and Michelle will come and say, "I just used this week," makes it so much more like applicable. You know, it's not that, well, we wrote a book because these are some great ideas and we've done these in the past, but they bring in relevant stories, and then I'll go back and try some of the same things, just not because I read them in a book, but because I heard her talk about it, and it works.
It's a huge missing piece for so many kids, and for many it makes the difference between them being successful in a real life coping situation, even if they have, you know, academic skills and other skills to get along.
So what makes this so real is the survival in the real world is based on social interaction and communication. And this is the piece that provides that. We don't have that as a course or instruction in our schools. You know, there's no real social thinking person that is defined in our school system. We all have to own a piece of that right now. But that's the critical element.
Most of us are hardwired for communication, so we do it naturally. But Michelle, and so it's very hard to articulate. So for example, if I asked you, why do we say mice and not meese, or mouses, you wouldn't be able to tell me. That's just the way we say it. And for social skills, it's the same way for most people. They just say, oh, that's the way we do it. Michelle has a genius for being able to very clearly articulate why it is we do what we do, and then to be able to teach it and put it into a teachable format for people who aren't hardwired to do this. And it's brilliant. She's brilliant.
I think the value of social thinking really gets kind of to the crux of who we all are as people, and that it's around us all day long, every day, and it makes explicit what we think and know and experience implicitly. And for some of these kids who have a harder time thinking about those things implicitly, they need to be taught in a direct way.
The reading and writing and arithmetic doesn't matter if you can't get a job because you're offensive to people or you can't interview. So all of that other stuff that we think is so important and so critical is not that useful unless you have the social skills to support it.